right. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order.
Councilwoman Selby,
Present.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Present.
Supervisor King,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Present.
Councilman Cardicchini, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So we do have a public hearing tonight. Just getting that together here. Let's see. All right. So, 7:35, got a couple minutes. So move right along. So under regular business, we have the correction adoption of the minutes from the October 6, 2021 Town Board meeting. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
I did have a chance to review the minutes from October 6, 2021. I did not have any suggested edits or changes, so I make a motion that we approve the board meeting minutes from October 6, 2021.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. And then item number 2 tonight under regular business is the consideration of all fund bills. Councilman Cardicchini, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I've had an opportunity to audit the fund bills, and I make a motion that we pay them in the amount of $89,296.69.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. And let's see, got one more minute. So correspondence tonight, item number 3 under the agenda. We have 4 items of correspondence. We have the September income statement from my office and the bookkeeper's office. That has been received and filed with the town clerk. Item number 2, a copy of the Boston Emergency Squad proclamation that has been received and filed with the town clerk. We also have item number 3, which is a resignation, sadly, from Noah Quinlan from the Conservation Advisory Council. That has been received and filed. And then item number 4 is a resignation, another resignation letter from Tara Lowry from the Planning Board. And that has been received and filed. And, we'll move right into the public hearing. So let me grab this here. So the public hearing reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that the tentative budget of the town of Boston for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk, where it is available for inspection by any interested person during regular office hours. Further notice is hereby given that the Boston Town Board will hold a public hearing and review the said tentative budget at the Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road at 7:35 Eastern Prevailing Time on October 20th, 2021. And at such hearing, any person may be heard either for or against the tentative budget as compiled or any items contained therein. Pursuant to Section 103 of Town Law, the proposed salaries of the following elected town officers are Supervisor, $41,371. Town Clerk, $50,644. Council members, 4 of them, at $9,100. Superintendent of Highways at $72,430. Town justices, 2 of them, at $20,264. And an exemption of this report is at the town clerk's office. This was dated September 28th, 2021, published October 1st, 2021, by order of the town board, Sandra L. Quinlan, town clerk. I will open the floor for any public comment regarding the municipal budget for 2022. All these people and no comment. No, I'll wait another minute. All right. Well, with no comment, I will close the floor for the public hearing for the 2022 Town of Boston budget. All right. So moving back to new business, before we go into item number 1, which is a request from the floor, actually for the residents that are here, we have almost everyone, well, a lot of members from the Boston Emergency Squad. There's a proclamation, and I'm just going to come up in front and actually, you're probably not going to hear me. I'll just read it from here and I'll present it to you after the meeting. But there's a proclamation. The squad had reached out and to the COVID pandemic, on a personal note and on behalf of the town, all of us, the town board and the citizens of Boston, the COVID-19 pandemic has put us all through a lot. I mean, I've been to your installation dinners. The amount of calls and the service you provide to our community is just truly insurmountable. I mean, you give it all. You show up day or night, doesn't matter the weather. You're taking care of our community, and the pandemic just layered on a whole other level of complexity to that. Being a past EMT myself, some of you know that about me, but my wife and I actually met in EMT class up at Oswego State College back in the day. I know what you've gone through, and I know what you go through. So this proclamation is certainly well deserved by all of you. So thank you. And the proclamation reads as follows: whereas the Boston Emergency Squad has been serving the town of Boston since 1966, and whereas the emergency medical services are a vital public service in the town of Boston, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. Whereas personnel from Boston Emergency Squad stand ready to provide compassionate, life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And whereas the world has faced an unprecedented 18 months facing the COVID-19 novel coronavirus global pandemic, which has caused strain on all healthcare and life-saving fields. And whereas the Boston Emergency Squad answered the call to serve our community during global pandemic, which caused an influx of calls and pulled them away from their families and everyday lives, ultimately putting themselves at risk in order to help the members of our community. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the immense value to all residents of the town of Boston and the accomplishments of the Boston Emergency Squad and their sacrifices over the last 18 months. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the town of Boston would like to formally recognize and thank all of the members of the Boston Emergency Squad for their sacrifice and continued service during the COVID-19 pandemic, dated this 20th day of October, 2021. Thank you very much. But truly a heartfelt thanks. I know those calls still come in today, and can hope and pray that this ends sooner than later for everyone involved. So again, going back to the new business requests from the floor, I will open up the floor to any public comment for anyone that's here. Please, if you come up to the microphone, please state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Bill Craig, and I live on Allen Drive, one house over from the industrial building that you guys approved. I don't know if it's you guys who approved it.
So,
Not a barn, it's an industrial building. Why would you let something like that go up in the town, which is rural? It doesn't fit at all. Even when you guys took out your report, when you approved the first variance, you had marked that it didn't look right in the town, in the neighborhood, but you still passed it. And then what happened? You built it too high. You built it too close to the road. You had a variance. You wanted a variance because you did wrong. And we came to the variance, me and my wife, and the variance was on August 5th. They canceled it that night. There was a note on the window. And I called every week for the next 4 weeks to find out when it was rescheduled. No one in the town would call me back. No one. I tried more than just one person. Jennifer, I think you were one of them. But there's 2 Jennifers. So I'm not sure which one it was. But look at you people let something like that go. I think there's only 2 people that I know that are sitting up there, for sure, that have seen the building. It's like 30 feet from my house. It's 2 stories high. And it's an industrial building. It's not like he claimed there's going to be a barn. And that's why I didn't have a problem with it. Now I got a problem with it and it's too late. How do I get notified if I don't have a computer? Or I don't get the sun to know what's going on in this town? Can the town clerks or whatever make out like a monthly calendar that I can come in and pick up, and other people like me could pick up? It's ridiculous. If you would see it, you would never want it next to your house. Never. I know for sure. There's nobody sitting up here that would ever want anything like that next to their house. Brought down my property value, brought down our view. It's ridiculous, and it's not like I didn't try. I just wasn't given the opportunity. And one of the neighbors asked me to bring this over. I had two neighbors that had emails in for that variance, I guess, that were just disregarded. What more do you need? If you've got, I couldn't come to the second variance that was rescheduled because I didn't know about it. But their emails were there, letting you people know about it. And seems like it gives a crap. Throw it in the garbage. They're not here. I tell you. Neighbors are all PO about it. The only ones that aren't are the ones that can't see it. Got a neighbor next to me, across the street, kitty corner, that looks at the whole gigantic building all the time. It's hideous. Like I said, it should be at the Bethlehem Steel Plant. Not on a really. I built a house here 40 years ago. Loved it here until this happened. And it's TS for me, I guess, you know, my wife and my neighbor. I don't know.
All right. I will add on that since no one else is coming to microphone. So it wasn't the town board that approved that. That was the zone. It went through the zoning board of appeals. So it wasn't something that we voted on, but that's okay. That's okay. No problem. All right. Yep. Okay. All due respect, it is three minutes per person, just so we can conduct other business. But I'm happy to speak with you as always after the meeting. If you want to stick around, happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to speak to you after the meeting if you want to stay after the meeting. Happy to have that conversation. You're welcome. Well,
We've been a quiet group. On behalf of the squad, just want to thank you for the recognition and your kind words and support that you total board gives us throughout the year. Thank you.
you're most welcome. Coming up, but yes, there's a paper schedule, and we can make that available to you.
Mr. Craig, I'm Sandy Quinlan. I'm the town clerk. I have spoken to you several times, and that schedule is posted on my town clerk board right outside of my door.
All right, with no other comment, I will close the floor. All right, so we've already done the public hearing. So moving along to item number 3 under new business, we have appoint a regular planning board member, Jay Jackson, to the planning board. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
I sure would, Mr. Supervisor. The planning board wanted to appoint Jay Jackson as a regular member. I'm going to put this on hold until the planning board speaks with Jay directly, and they can consider his discussion if he does or does not want to be indeed a regular planning board member. So I'm going to move it back to the planning board.
So motion to move back to the
Yeah, to be tabled, sorry.
Yep, okay.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
there for you.
Second on that.
Second, I'll second.
Thank you. Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carter-Keeney,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 4. I'm going to combine items number 4 and 5. There's 2 zoning board members that were there was some additional discussion actually after the agenda had been made. And according to the zoning board chairwoman, they had recommended that the town board make a motion to table and send this back to the zoning board of appeals. So I would like to make a motion to table and send back items number 4 and 5 to the zoning board of appeals chairwoman.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carter-Keeney,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 6 is an application for use facility for Brian and Claudia Collins. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item?
Yes, Supervisor. We received a request for application for use of facility from Brian and Claudia Collins for June 25th, 2022 for a graduation party, requesting that they will be having rides, a bouncy house. And they're also requesting to have a DJ or band. Are they going to need to submit insurance for this?
Insurance would be submitted for this. Anyway,
this event.
that's a stipulation
Okay,
of
so-
the use of the facility.
Okay.
But that would be up to the board to.
It's just unusual, the DJ or band thing. We've never had that before, so I just wondered if that's covered. Do you know what I mean?
No, there is plenty of time for this.
Okay, because I would request from if they're subcontracting a DJ or band that they provide insurance as well, not just the family. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve it as long as whoever they get to be a DJ or band also submit insurance for the town.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carter-Keeney,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, moving right along. Item number 7 is an application for Daniel Weber for a second accessory building located at 8655 Fedek Road. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2021-58 because it came from the code officer that it would be permissible from our code officer, William Ferguson, that they granted it. So given that situation, I would like to also recommend this to be permitted and recommend this resolution.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carter-Keeney,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes, so the ZBA approved it, the variance on October 7th
Yes.
with the code officer's information
Yes.
provided. So, and that there's no further seeker requirement as it's classified as a type 2 action. So yes. Thank you.
and Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving along. Item number 9 is to schedule a public hearing for November 3rd for $10.8 million water project. I'll read this public notice here since I've been dealing with a lot of water. I think that's been delegated.
Yes, please.
All right. The notice of public hearing for it reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Boston in Erie County, state of New York, will meet at Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, on November 3rd, 2021, at 7:35 p.m. prevailing time, for the purpose of conducting a public hearing in relation to the proposed increase and improvements of facilities in water districts numbers 1 and 2, labeled as the districts, as described in the map plan and report for the town of Boston water systems, improvements to water districts numbers 1 and 2, dated August 2020 and updated in October 2021, consisting of improvements to the water main replacement and pump station improvements serving properties located within water district number 1 at the estimated maximum cost of $9,738,000. And item 2 is water main replacement improvements serving properties located within water district number 2 at the estimated maximum cost of $1,320,000. The current approved total estimated maximum cost of this project is $11,058,000, which is proposed to be financed through the issuance of bonds by the town of Boston on behalf of districts, payable by levy and concessions of assessments and real property in the districts based on the respective assigned number of equivalent dwelling units, which are also referred to as EDUs, each unit being equivalent to the usage by a single family home. Therefore, the project cost burden is expected to be borne by districts' property owners and throughout the expected term of the bonds. However, the bonds shall be issued in the general obligation of bonds of the town of Boston. In the event the amount of assessments collected within the districts is insufficient to pay the cost of the project and or the debt service related to the project, such costs and or debt service shall be paid for from the general town taxes. Each of the districts are provided watered by the Erie County Water Authority, also referred to as ECWA, and the water system is lease managed by Erie County Water Authority through an agreement with the town. Further details concerning such proposed increase and improvements of the facilities and the estimated costs thereof are set forth in the above mentioned map plan and report, which is available online for review. And if you go out to the town of, I'll read this web link off, but it's the townofboston.com and then /water project under relevant documentation. This is by the order of the town board of the town of Boston, dated October 20th, 21, which is today, Boston, New York. And then Sandra Quinlan as our town clerk. So, and Madam Clerk, was that all set to be scheduled and posted in the paper?
Yes.
Thank you
that
very
will
much.
Post in the Hamburg Sun on Friday.
All right. So I'd like to make a motion to schedule that public hearing.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Moving along, item number 10 is resolution 2021-59, town board seeker determination for proposed improvements to water infrastructure. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2021-59, whereas the town of Boston is considering the impact to the environment following the scope to be completed, where we're replacing in-kind water mains in the town of Boston as described in the August 2020 map plan and report, which was updated October 2021 by Clark, Patterson, and Lee. I would like to make this I'm very happy that this is going forward because it's much needed repairs to Water District 1 and 2. And I'm happy to make this motion to approve this resolution 21-59.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Item number 11 tonight is a resolution 2021-60, authorizing the conversion of streetlights to energy efficient LED fixtures. I'll take this item. I have a little bit of detail behind this. The town of Boston went through the LED streetlight conversion. At the time, there were what's referred to as a welded light, which is actually on town property. But there are fixtures throughout the community that still need to be updated. This will complete all of those upgrades. But I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2021-60, the total dollar amount to convert these LED lights for a one-time charge not to exceed $517.07. and this should continue to provide the longevity to these lamps and also reduce energy consumption for the town of Boston. So I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2021-60.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And we have item number 12, resolution 2021-61, which is the Erie County Community Development Block Grant requests. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, thank you, Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2021-61, which basically is following projects to be considered for funding from the Erie County Community Development Block Grant Program during the 22 to 23 grant cycle. Our first priority is construction of a North Boston Town Park restroom and pavilion, which would be requesting $100,000 in CDBG funds to be matched using $50,000 in town funds, using cash from the buildings and equipment and anticipated ARPA funding in the amount of $81,350. And our second priority is to expand rural transit service. I make a motion to execute a contract with the Erie County Community Development Block Grant Program for the cited projects upon approval from the ECC DBG.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 13 tonight is a resolution number 2021-62, authorizing the early voting polling location lease agreement. Councilman Cardicini, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to make a motion to pass resolution number 2021-62, which is authorizing the early voting poll location lease agreement with the Erie County Board of Elections. The town hall for early voting location, as they've offered the town $900 to lease the required space. I make a motion that we approve this resolution 2021-62.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. We have no other old business tonight, so we'll move on to reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. First, I'd like to report that the brush pickup for the October is over with. Every road in town was done once, so we got a lot of wood chips available. If anybody wants wood chips, fill out a sheet. We'd be glad to deliver them. The guy's been putting the 2 leaf boxes on the other trucks, and they've been out 2 days already picking up leaves. Anybody in town that wants leaves, we're gonna have lots of leaves. So if you want leaves, fill out a sheet. Be glad to deliver them to anybody in town. We also have a lot of fill left down there. If anybody's looking for fill, we could deliver some fill. Other than that, the guy's been working getting the plow trucks ready, getting the sanders on, plowing wings on, getting that done. And the only other thing I got tonight, I was going to ask the board, like I do every year, if it's all right to dump leaves at my place if nobody else in town wants the leaves, because we got to have a place to dump them, and I'm more than willing to take them. But I would like a couple loads of fill to kind of, fill in back there where I dump them. But that's all I have tonight. So I just like the board's approval to dump the leaves.
Hey, anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make
Okay.
a motion that we need a number for this. It's not really a resolution.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we approve Highway Superintendent Telak to take leaves and some fill to mix in with the leaves to make them decompose, I'm guessing.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
Yep,
I'll second.
we have to vote.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Councilwoman Selby, you have the floor.
First of all, I'd like to thank the EMS for their dedication and their hours of community service. The town is so lucky to have you guys, and your show of support here tonight demonstrates your dedication. I'd like to thank you all for that. In addition to that, as I am the Water District Liaison, I am very excited and happy to see our water districts being moved forward to get repaired. They're way overdue. I was here back in 2010 when we did Water District 3 on the East Hill, and it was such a relief to finally have water after 20 some years. And now these people that are having these water main breaks, it's going to be some relief to finally get some good good, reliable water without having to worry about a break. So I'm happy about that. That is all I have tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Councilman Cardicini, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. Mr. Craig, I understand your frustration. I've been to your property and sat with you and have seen the building. That is rather large. I would like to point out to you that there has been a great deal of changes on the zoning board, and there have been some deficiencies on the zoning board, and we are addressing that as a town. That whole process was very concerning. So I didn't want you to think that you had a group of people up here that aren't sympathetic to the situation. Yep. So I just wanted to mention that. No, certainly. I understand your frustration. And I do want to thank you for coming tonight. So I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank the squad. I personally have ridden with Miss Lynn following a fall in where I had a concussion. You guys do an awesome job in town, and it's a tremendous value to the community. I've said for a long time from this seat that the volunteer community in this town is remarkable, and it really is the fabric of the community. I felt that as a private resident. I certainly feel that as an elected official, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you guys all the time, the training, the effort that goes into it, and certainly with the pandemic, it you guys step up to the plate every time, and the same goes for the volunteer fire companies in the town. So thanks for coming out tonight. This is it's nice to see some people in the crowd. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I would definitely like to echo the need and how it's really reassuring to live in a town that has the EMS structure that we have, including paramedics in the town, is remarkable. So, and I'm glad to be a part of the board that supports that. So thank you for all of your time and effort away from your families to help other families. So sincerely, thank you. I wanted to extend a thank you to Tara Lowry, who was on our planning board. She really put the time in to help the board and put her, due diligence forward. So I wanted to thank her for her time, and it was much appreciated. And I wish Mr. Noah Quinlan good luck, as he's not going to be a town resident any longer. So good luck in his endeavors. And yes, I believe the Conservation Advisory Board would gladly take his assistance if they needed it. So thank you to that. And Mr. Craig, I did forward the calls to the other Jennifer, who is the new board liaison, the board clerk now. So, and we did try to find as much paperwork as possible, as she was new, to make sure that whatever you were asking for, you got. I thought she did, so apologize for that. And again, thank you though for coming out. It's nice to see you face to face, but so thank you for your time. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
Yeah, I have a lot to say. First of all, Mr. Craig, I'm actually the liaison for the ZBA meeting, and it was myself and a couple of those board members, and as well as the supervisor, to reschedule that meeting because there had been so many cancellations previous to that. We felt we were doing a disservice to the petitioners constantly putting them off and they're waiting to finish their projects. And with the impending snow, we just needed to, because that one got canceled because of the existing chairwoman, we needed to get it back on the schedule as soon as possible instead of, and well, it wasn't intentional. It was posted as we'd had to legally, and I'm sorry that weren't notified. I'm also the liaison for the squad. Congratulations to all of you and working through the COVID epidemic. Hopefully it'll be over soon and we don't have to deal with it anymore. Me being also an essential worker, I'm right there with you in the trenches. Noah Quinlan, I'm the liaison for the Conservancy Advisory Committee as well, and he is going to be greatly missed because he has been quite the asset to our committee. So that's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. The code enforcement officers' reports for September have been received and filed in the town clerk's office, and my report for September 2021 has been submitted to the supervisor's office. Just to touch on Noah Quinlan from the CAC and Tara Lowry from the Planning Board, I know these are two residents in town that have really put their whole heart into what they have done, you know, for both of those boards. As in Noah's letter, it had said that he will be relocating out of town. So he has been a resident in this town for 27 years. I guarantee you that he will be back and he will assist the CAC because mom and dad live here. You know, so he does put a lot into that. In fact, there is a sign that was a 4x8 sign. Rather than having that sign professionally made with the plywood, he made that for the Leaf event. So he will certainly miss the CAC, but he knows that he cannot continue on as a member, but he will still be attending those meetings. Okay, so a couple of fun things in town that are going on. The Monaco Corn Maze is open, and the Red Barrel Cider Mill. You know, if you're looking for something to do, to get out and do that. The Connect Life Blood Drive is tomorrow in the community room from 2 to 7. If you are interested in just, coming in, I know that they do take appointments, but I do believe you can also just come in and fill out their paperwork and donate. On Friday is the Churchill Memorials United Methodist Church. There is their second fish dinner of the fall. This will be their final one. So if you wanted to pre-order your fish dinners, you can do that with calling Mike at 336-9000. But there will be other fish dinners available if you do not call to pre-order those. And this weekend, there is on Saturday, the Boston Fire Company will be sponsoring the trunk or treat at the fire hall. There are some fun things for the kids. Fire trucks will be out. The sheriff canines will be there. There will be snacks and hot dogs and drinks that are offered also. And early voting will start on Saturday also. If you are a registered voter in the town of Boston, the early voting will take place here at the town hall in the community room from Saturday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 31st. On the weekends, the voting hours are noon to 6, and during the week, the hours are noon to 9. There will be no early voting the day before Election Day. That is when the Board of Elections prepare for Election Day on Tuesday, November 2nd. And then polling location will be in your normal location in town, and that is voting is open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Also, this weekend, there will be Bread of Life will be having their sale. What used to be the cherry picker, they had some antique furniture and some more antiques that they brought in. Their final sale on that is Saturday and Sunday Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 11 till 3. And the flu shot clinic will be next Tuesday right here at the town hall, right here in the courtroom between 1 and 4 p.m. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Boy, it's great to hear us getting back to normal. I don't think we've had so much, all of us, so much to report on in a while. So I guess I will add to all of this. There is going to be a HEAP outreach. This is kind of timely with us all hearing that natural gas rates are going to be going up probably to some of their all-time historic highs. But anyway, there's going to be a HEAP. I reached out to Legislator Mills' office. We're working together to put a HEAP outreach event on Friday, October 19th here at the town hall from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then there is information on the town website and not on social media, but applicants should bring photocopies of the following information, which is identification for all household members, proof of all household resources, proof of all income received within the last 30 days, and then also current shut-off notice if applicable. If there's any additional information, I encourage residents to call Legislator Mills' office, and that number is 858-8850. And again, that's 858-8850 for additional information. So that is one of the events going on. The town is going to be doing an emergency rental assistance program outreach program. That's going to be on November 17th this year from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Downstairs in the community room. Folks probably heard some information about the emergency rental assistance program. Again, information's out on the town website. There's actually quite an extensive list of information there. But if you have any questions, feel free to give my office a call. But we just got that on the calendar just a couple days ago. Very happy to say that the town historian has and our grant writer, Connie Miner, had secured funding to update a historical marker in the community. And this was for the typhoid well. So we received the marker and the pole, and our highway superintendent has graciously offered to help out to install that and get that in. So we'll see how that plays out with Mother Nature and what her weather pattern is. So that'll be a nice change in here in the community. The early voting, the only thing I agree everything with our town clerk. The only thing I did want to add, I've only had 2 calls. I don't know if the town clerk's office has had any of these. Residents have asked if they can vote anywhere in Erie County. Yes, that is one of the things with early voting. There's a list on Erie County Board of Elections website, also on our town social media page and website. When you look at all those areas, if you happen to work in, let's say, the North Towns or over in Orchard Park or Blaisdell or what have you, if there's an early polling location, you can legally vote in those locations. That's part of the early voting process. So that's the only addition I had, but great job, town clerk, on that. Outside, the only other thing I have for tonight, just to put it on record, in case there's any residents at home that listen in or watch the live stream, now that we're live streaming meetings, there has been some additional and increased calls regarding fill coming through Chestnut Ridge Road and up on Hillcrest. The state police, the Erie County sheriffs have been notified. Our highway superintendent's been notified because there's complaints about debris, mud, et cetera, being left on the roads. For those of you that are going to watch these videos, the residents quite a few residents came in. They've been reaching out to many of us board members. But I just wanted to go out there and say that we're listening. We've taken necessary action that we can to work with our partners throughout the community and county, and we'll try to do our best to keep any of that situation as, I guess I'll say, as tempered as it possibly can be at the moment. But that is all I have, and I will make a motion to close the meeting at let's call it 8:14 p.m.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
I feel strange, so I'm gonna go.
Okay, have a good day.
I think I need.
Have a happy Halloween. Your kid's big enough
I
to go out
think I
yet?
actually need salt.
Oh. Yes, he'll tag along. Have a good day.
far. Okay. Well, we'll have to just test it. Okay. I could hardly hear much.